Embroidery machine beginners, learn the floating method in this video.
Let's embroider this adorable onesie. We're going for a monochromatic vibe. To achieve that, I'm using Richword's 40 weight polyester thread in 004. I started by doubling up my tearaway stabilizer and hooping it as taut as I could. I find it helpful to mark crosshairs on the stabilizer after it's been hooped to easily line up with the marks on the onesie. I usually don't recommend doubling stabilizer, but because this is for a baby, I thought it would be softer for her delicate baby skin. Using cutaway and a soft skin iron-on topper would work well also. To find the center of the garment, you're going to fold it long ways and align the side seams to each other, folding the collar outward, aligning the shoulders and the underarm seams. I'm using a youth-size t-shirt ruler and a heat pen to mark where I want the design centered, about 2.5 to 3 inches below the collar seam. Because this is such a tiny piece, we're floating it, meaning we're not putting the onesie in the hoop itself, rather securing it over top. To do that, we flip the garment inside out, align the marks on the onesie to the marks on the stabilizer, using a minimal amount of basting spray to set it in place, then rolling the excess fabric outward and securing it to the hoop with masking tape. I did a trial run on a scrap piece of fabric before running the onesie through. That's what you see me placing over it right here. Once I had hooped my machine, for a bit more stability, I added water-soluble stabilizer over the design before I started the stitch out. I held the water-soluble stabilizer in place for the first couple of stitches so that it wouldn't shift around on me. This is my favorite one. It's from Richword. The texture is perfect. I'm using my Poolin EOC06 single needle flatbed embroidery machine. I've had it for over a year and it's well worth the learning curve. I have a detailed unboxing video for you if you're interested in learning more about this machine. Once the design finished stitching out, I remove it from the hoop, trim the excess threads, pull off the tearaway stabilizer and the water-soluble stabilizer I had placed over top. I used water on Q-tips to take off the tiny pieces in between the words. I then added a soft skin iron-on topper for extra measure. I remove any wrinkles as well as the pen marks from the heat pen. I hope you found this video helpful. I've listed and linked everything that I've used for this project. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you'd like to see how I embroidered this fluffy blanket for the same baby, I have a sewing and embroidery playlist for you to check out. See you in the next one.